winning when things go good. It's just that things don't go good for me a lot when it comes to that. This is kind of irrelevant, but I was thinking about when I was playing baseball, and I remember this time that there was this kid that we were playing against who was pitching, and he had been hitting every person that went up to bat. And then I went up to bat, and I could see that he was really upset. And then he threw the ball and he hit me. And I was like, hey, I don't have to walk. He can pitch again. I didn't think that hurt at all. And then the ref was like, nope, you have to go. And I was like, okay. And I walked to first base and I saw them crying. I just felt really bad because I know what it's like to suck. I hope that kid's doing okay today. If by some random chance of luck that you're out there watching this right now, just know that you're not alone. It's okay to suck. I suck every day. And then, after a certain amount of time, baseball was done. And then I moved on to track and field, which was really fun because it's easy. You have to do one thing. Run. I like track and field because I considered myself at the time to be pretty quick.
I am speed.
I definitely wasn't the fastest, but I still prided myself on my ability to run. There's no missing the ball on the ground or throwing a ball at a hoop. It's just run. And that I could do. Nothing really interesting happened when I played track and field, just because it is very simple. Look at him run. Yeah, that one's fast. But it was one of the sports I did. There was one day that I became really dehydrated that all I could see was white.
Hey, does it seem really bright out here to you guys?
But that's less about the sport, more about me being dehydrated. I'm surprised I'm alive these days. Anyway, and then I tried cross-country skiing, but that one was the worst because despite everybody's best efforts, I couldn't do it. Every practice after school, we would go out to ski, everybody would be shimmying around, and then there would be me shuffling in place for hours. You got this, Andy. Yes, thank you. I don't know what wasn't clicking, but I couldn't do it. After about a month, I ended up quitting. Breaking up with your girlfriend? That's hard. Beating pogo stuck? It's really hard. Cross-country skiing? It's impossible. Sometimes I played golf, but never in a serious kind of way. There was one time when I tried to play golf with a bunch of friends, and it did not go well at all. It wasn't supposed to go well because we were just like, yeah, it's golf. We'll just hit it around, and if we don't get the ball, whatever. But the way golf courses work is that they want to very efficiently have everybody moving along from one hole to the next, so there's not a lot of people waiting because a bunch of goofballs want to have a good time. So they took me and another friend, and they paired us up with some random people that we just didn't know. They were really nice, and they were like, it's your first time golfing? We were like, yeah, I mean, we've golfed before, but we don't, we're not too good. And we proceeded to hit every shot into the rough, and they would be really nice and say, oh, it's okay, you can try again. And eventually they just stopped talking to us because we were so bad. It kind of ruined the vibe. It was really embarrassing to be that bad. But in the end, we met up with our other friends that already finished the course, and we got a couple golf carts that just raced around, which is not allowed. I think it made it worth it. That was a good memory of mine. So I've had my fill of sports. Not my thing. Totally understand why people like it, but I draw a cartoon, not to play sport. Artists don't want to move. They just want to sit and draw. So that's on playing sports, but watching them, you don't have to be good. You can just watch it, right? Not for me. Oh my God, the amount of things that people have to remember. I'm amazed at people's ability to just know who's who, the rules, how well they've been performing. How do you keep up with all of that information? Oh, Billy Bobby Jimmy Johnny got 3 kickies into the goal just last round. He's been doing pretty good this season. What? Who is this guy? And then they changed teams. They were just like swapping them around. That's so much data. I forgot what I ate for breakfast. Or if I even ate breakfast. It's just way too much. I don't really watch sports or go out to games. I do like going to the stadium sometimes because the food is yummy. You can just sit in the sun and enjoy a hot dog. It's like a comfortable thing. Being there to watch the game, take me out of the ball game. More like, take me home and stop at Five Guys on the way. I'm hungry. So in the end, sports are good. Just not for me. Thank you for watching. Now, little Timmy, you know better than to steal cookies from the cookie jar. You know, I never told you this, but if little children eat cookies before dinner time, they spoil their appetite. And bat wings will sprout from their eyeballs, and they will fly away into the sun where they will explode. Hot take of the day, I think lies, they're bad. If you lie to somebody, there stands a chance that you could really hurt them. And buddy, go over there. Don't worry, it's safe. Why would you do that? But sometimes kids can be unruly. And I'm not a parent, so I don't know what's considered good parenting and bad parenting. But sometimes as kids, to keep the peace, we were lied to. And I think about that sometimes. At least for the lies that I was told when I was a kid, I think it's mostly fair. But, come here. I gotta show you something. This video is sponsored by Opera Browser. Are you looking for a cool browser packed with features? Oh, you know, Opera Browser is a browser that has features. Are you like me and have about 600 tabs open at any given time? No? Weird. Normal browsers would shred through computer resources like RAM, CPU, and battery. But Opera Browser is built different. Literally, it is built with features such as battery saving mode. So if you have 600 tabs open, which is very normal, it won't tank your battery, so you can do other important things on your computer for longer. And if your tabs are getting super cluttered from doing all kinds of important research, you can use workspaces to organize and simplify your browsing by switching context with one click at the top of your sidebar. Wonderful! Now you can get back to gaming without needing to worry about your browser. Opera Browser also allows you to customize your browser's experience with things like wallpapers and custom sound. Thank you, Opera, for sponsoring this video. Normally, as stated before, lying bad, but I can empathize with parents if they need a little more order in the house. I look back on my childhood and I remember how I was lied to from time to time, and I think, like one time when I was a kid, I was told if I keep making that face, it will stick that way. I remember at the time I was harassing my mom while she was making us dinner. Mom. You gotta be careful, because if you keep making that face, it'll stick that way. I didn't believe this one, but I should have. I am very gullible and believe most things. I would say 45% of my working memory, misinformation. But either way, in my opinion, this lie is fine. I admittedly was being a walking headache, and this lie, it really isn't that damaging. Unlike some other folklore tales, like little German boys being told not to put your fingers in pie or else you're going to be taken away by a monster. Oh my goodness! A long time ago, there was a time where backlit things didn't exist, or were at least very rare. And if you were in a car on a road trip and wanted to read some spooky goosebumps, you would need an overhead light. I remember lots of times on road trips I wanted to play Pokemon on my Game Boy, but I didn't have any backlit stuff. As many kids my age, I too wanted to be a Pokemon master. Obliterate every enemy I could with my team. Okay, I'm ready to battle. To do any of this, I needed light. A simple thing to come by these days, but at that time, I had none. There's this thing I used to have that was like just a little spiral light that would connect to the Game Boy, just be like a lamp, a literal lamp shown on the screen. Can't remember if I just didn't have it at the time or it broke, but either way, I needed the top light. So I turned it on, and then my dad turns it off. Apparently, as my dad put it, it was illegal. I remember thinking, of course I can't turn that on now. If I did, then we would get pulled over, and then my dad would be put in jail, and then I would have to drive, and we all know how that would go. I'm a Pokemon master, not a NASCAR driver. I didn't have a job, so how am I supposed to post bail? Sorry, Dad. My only option was to wait, to look out the window, and pretend little guys running around and dodging all the stuff that we're driving past. How's he doing that? But, as you may expect, if you look at the law, there's nothing in here about inner car lights on at night being illegal. My dad only said this because it was simply hard to see at night. Which is honestly fair. Even though I was fighting the biggest criminal organization in the history of mankind, Pokemon, I do know now it's harder to see when the inner lights are on. I didn't understand at the time how important visibility was. However, I would learn how very vital it is years later while I attempted to get my own license. Do you need sunglasses? No, I'm fine. Now I understand. Kids tend to pee in pools. It's just the way things are. I don't make the rules. This can become a problem when you try to teach a bunch of them how to swim. So when I was in swimming class, before we started at all, our swimming instructor told us, if you pee in the pool, it'll react with a chemical in the pool and turn it red. And so everyone will know that you peed in the pool and that you're a pool peer. Hey, this guy pees in pool. Give me that. Give me the pool noodle. Bad. And up to that point, I had been being in the pool. Used to be so vile. I'm sorry to admit that, but as a kid, I was just like, well, if fish can do it. Oh, dude! Ew! Come on, man! My kid's in this lake. It's very selfish to be in the pool. You ruin the pool for everyone. It's like everybody's having a soup, and everybody's really excited to eat the soup, and then you throw a bunch of spice in the soup, and you're just like, oh no, that's just for me, don't worry. Mix that up a little bit. Now looking back, I'm glad that I was lied to, because I stopped peeing in pools right away. Who knew lies could be so effective? On an unrelated note, did you know not subscribing to this channel in 24 hours gives you scurvy? Just saying. Okay, so when I was recording this earlier, I was gonna say a thing about how lifesavers are a candy that helps prevent kids from choking because of the little hole in the center. But did you know that's also a myth? I was told that the inventor designed the candy like that because his kid choked on candy, and he didn't want other kids to befall the same fate. And that's also why it's called lifesavers, because it's saving lives. Turns out that's wrong. He just wanted to make a candy that looked like lifesaver buoys. That's it. It's just kind of disappointing. Why not make candy of something cool? Like me. They say that cracking your knuckles ruins your hands. But I've been cracking my knuckles for years, and look at how they turned out. Does this look broken or mangled to you? Take a close look. Your skin is really soft. Could you stop? I was always so worried about cracking my knuckles because I would often hear people say, you're gonna get arthritis if you keep doing that. I don't want arthritis. I need my hands. But unfortunately, it became a habit, so I did it a ton. Then I started to crack my ankles, my elbows, my back, my sternum somehow, my neck. It was getting out of control. So I was worried about the future of my hands. But as I was worrying, research was being conducted about the correlation between arthritis and cracking your fingers. And they found no correlation, which means I don't have to better myself nor my bad habits. Yay! I think what was really going on here is maybe parents thought it was really nasty whenever their kids cracked their knuckles, which is fair, it's pretty gross, and then just told them they need to stop because of health reasons. But also, if you think about it, it just kind of makes sense. It doesn't seem like a healthy thing to do. Maybe one day my fingers will just fall off. Only time will tell. Anyway, lies are bad, but when I look back on it, maybe not all lies were bad. And maybe it was just people trying to guide me along a better path in life, which is kind of sweet. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to lie to everyone. Okay, bye!
I hate working. I don't want to go back.
Then don't.
Doctor, please help. I got a tumor.
Then don't.
Hi, my name is Mars and I got fired from my first job. And you will too if you don't subscribe to me, because only a third of you who watch my channel actually click the button. So please sub or else I'll make you into a sub. Oh, and this video is sponsored by Curiosity Stream. More on that later. When I was 13, I grew up in a traditionally brown or Asian household within rural Australia. Now, I'm not sure if this was the case for other people like me, but the idea of giving your kids allowances, independence, or freedom were alien concepts to my parents. To them, what was the point in getting money for yourself before you're 18? Because they always did say, if you need anything, just let us know and we'll get it for you. But the weird thing is, whenever I asked my parents for unconditional parental love, they said no. So I guess it doesn't work all the time. Anyways, because I was just a puny brown teenager, I had to convince my parents to let me get my first job and earn some real money. I went to the nearest building that was hiring, and after going through their rigorous interview process, I finally started working at Oh, wait, actually, I don't want to get in trouble for this video, so I guess I'll have to use a fake name, eh? Now, if I was uncreative, I'd probably name it something along the lines of McDonald's. But since I'm not, I worked at Whack-Donald's because that place was whack. Yes, thank you. In Australia, we like to shorten our words by a lot. So almost everybody here ends up calling McDonald's Wackers. It's actually so commonplace that some stores even have signs outside that just say Wackers. Isn't Australian culture neat? Australia isn't a real country, please tell me they're keeping me hostage. Now, I won't talk smack about McDonald's, because I actually do think it's a great place to work. I don't have any regrets about having my first job there, and the people working were really nice, and there's not that many negative experiences that I had to go through.
Excuse me, can I have extra sauce?
Did you just say extra sauce?
So let me tell you about the behind the scenes at McDonald's for when I worked there. So the workers were split basically between two sides. The cooking team, which was in charge of making all of the food, but in the front were the real MVPs, the people who manned the counters, who took and prepared the orders, and little Timmy over here, who is responsible for continuously breaking the ice cream machine. But again, just like most minimum wage jobs, there's the good, the bad, and the weird. Like the very, very weird. There was this one guy in particular who I still think about to this day because he terrified me and I don't want to see him again. His name is Terry and he's a regular connoisseur of Wackers. And he was so consistent with what he came in for that the staff knew exactly what he was going to order. A single cone of 50-cent soft serve ice cream. He ordered this daily and every time he'd happily walk out with some delicious soft serve in one hand and the growing risk of diabetes in the other. I didn't think too much of it until one day when I was manning the counter, I recognized old Terry walking in. He was my beacon of hope within the chaos and humdrum of work. So when he walked up to order the same 50-cent serve cone, I was more than happy to oblige. I make the ice cream with great difficulty, give it to him, and reach out my hand for payment. These aren't Australian coins. These are way too light, and it reminds me of New Zealand coins because I used to live there. Oh, yep, nope, these are New Zealand coins. Sir, I don't think we're allowed to accept foreign currency at McDonald's. Oh no. Timmy, do your thing. So this may be speculation here, but I think this guy had been paying for his 50-cent ice cream the entire time with New Zealand coins. And this must have been a deliberate thing, because if it was a one-time mistake, why would he take back the coins and run off to join another line? Which then begs the question, why? Actually, why? Because the difference between the two currency in terms of their value is 50 cents New Zealand is 40 cents Australian. So I guess he's getting 10 cents off, which is, to be fair, a 20% discount. But then again, why go to such an effort to get New Zealand coins from an exchange service for ice cream? I didn't even know what to do at that point. Because listen, as a Wackers fast food employee, I do not get paid enough to go up to him and give him the good old don't. In the end, the 10-cent difference was not worth it, and I just pretended like I didn't know him at all. Also because the 10 cents was like an hour of my pay. Weird stories like these make work fun and interesting, yeah, but it's also not that common. The usual things that I had to deal with were customers who yelled at me, or people who got their order wrong and thought it was my fault, or just plain annoying customers.
Excuse sauce.
You again? That's it. Here's your extra sauce. So overall, whilst I enjoyed the friends that I made, after working for a bit in McDonald's and dealing with the nasty customers, it actually did leave me feeling more scared, anxious, and nervous about working there. So much so that by the final few days of the 3rd month of me working there, I didn't want to go back. I had to legitimately force myself to go back every single day, all for minimum wage, anxiety, and getting scanned 10 cents on the daily. Thank you, Terry. Thank you. It always felt like I wasn't up to the task, you know, because I'd make a mistake and then I'd get yelled at, which made me more careful not to make the mistake. But then I'd get yelled at for being slow, so then I'd speed up and then I'd make a mistake and it would just repeat and repeat and repeat. They were so consistent with this that you'd think that it was their secret ingredient. Because it was. Yeah, the salt and the fries are actually underpaid teenage tears. Until one day, I went up to my mom, venting about how I had to go work the next day and how badly I didn't want to go, and she said the magical word. Don't. Now, look, I'm gonna be real with y'all, and Mom, I know you're watching this, and I'm sorry in advance, I love you. But that is some grade A terrible advice. Do not, please do not ditch or ghost in a professional setting, okay? Because it is always going to end badly for you, especially if you ghosted in the middle of a critical job.
Yeah, hold this.
Oh. All jokes aside, I know I was 13, and I shouldn't expect past Mars to make perfectly logical decisions, but I think I did let my anxiety overpower me a little bit. I should have at least gone into McDonald's and quit in person instead of running away from what was troubling me. Because a month later, I got a letter saying that I was effectively terminated. And because of that, I was so scared from seeing anybody from McDonald's that I've never gone back. Nah, I'm kidding. I went back yesterday. The fries are just too good. Oh, God. Honestly, I made this video because I wanted to compare against what I would do now. And the answer is pretty boring because I would have just handed in my 2-week resignation and then skiddity-dee-boop-bop out of there. But that's growth. That's exactly what I was looking for because I have changed for the better, even if just a tiny little bit. And I hope that I can continue changing for the better. And that the Mars now, 10 years after my first job, who's starting to work long-term as a doctor, can handle the incoming burden. And if I ever get the urge to run away, hide, or avoid the growing responsibility, I know exactly what to do. Don't.
30.
When I come home all stressed about my rough workday, I make sure to relax by watching only the highest of quality content, like Nebula Original Digital Gold Mine, a documentary about Venezuelan gold farming using RuneScape to grow their wealth. You can watch this on Nebula, a streaming-nominated video service including independent creators such as myself. Nebula is a platform where a whole bunch of top-of-the-line creators such as Real Engineering, Midlife Crisis, and Extra Credit can create 100% ad-free quality content without the added stress of the algorithm or demonetization. It also allows me to be experimental with the kind of content that I want to make, such as the face cam version of Mafia Round 1 from the previous video. And Nebula is bundled with this video's sponsor, CuriosityStream, which is home for thousands of shows about history, philosophy, medicine, all topics that I really enjoy watching in my free time. I mean, if you watch my videos, then you'd probably enjoy these too, like Curious Minds, The Science of Sleep. It's a show that explores what our brain does when we sleep, when we don't get enough, or if there's any issues with our sleep itself. I highly encourage you to get the bundle by signing up with the link below, which will net you access to CuriosityStream and Nebula with a reduced 26% off their annual plan, totaling less than $15 per year. And this isn't a trial. As long as you're a CuriosityStream member, you'll have Nebula as well. Trust me, it's one of the best deals in streaming at this moment. So again, click on the link below or go to curiositystream.com/Mars to get both CuriosityStream and Nebula for less than $15 per year and help support my channel and animated content as a whole. Alright, thanks everybody, best of luck with wherever you're working, and stay amazing.
It's me. Today we're gonna be checking out some cool tricks used in food commercials that they don't want you to know about. They hit a bottle on some cereal and then wait for it. It's gonna just pop out. I don't know what's creating the force to push it out, but there you go. And then slow-mo it. And see, it looks so dramatic. Hi, it's me. So they got some food coloring and some mashed potato. Oh, it looks like brownies now. Glue and some more food coloring. Are you trying to make ice cream? Sir! That's illegal! Mashed potato and glue has never looked so good. I can't believe it looks better than the actual ice cream. Like, why you play with my emotions like this? It's scary that I would eat that. Would take a bite. Hey, at least it's gluten-free. Another way of preparing chicken. Plot twist, they don't even cook it. So they use this little creme brulee flamethrower to tighten the skin. Look at it just like tighten and it toasts some of it. And then they don't actually cook it because that shrivels the chicken, you know, so not aesthetic. So they got some soy sauce and just painted the raw chicken that's slightly toasted. And look, they look amazing. So if you cook them, they look like this. Dry, crusty. Doesn't look very appetizing, right? But this, they look glazed and juicy. I can't believe this is a raw chicken. Y'all marketing raw chicken. But it looked more cooked than the cooked one. We live in a universe of lies. Dry tea, food coloring. Mix it up. What are we making now? Let it dry. Vodka? You can't put that in TNT? Whoa, now I see why. Now I see why. You see the real tea and then the commercial tea. Whoa, you get that color instantly. I was gonna be like, wait, some tea actually, if you pour boiling water over it, you get the color right away. But then you get those ugly steam bubbles on the side of the glass. So this one's very smart. Oh man, they took some glue, food coloring, mixed it all up. Whoa, it's like a black hole. Oh no, it's slime, black slime. Oh, so you telling me the chocolate in the chocolate lava cake isn't real? It's the slime, and you just pop it in there, and it just look like it's flowing on out. The chocolate hole lies in the seat. Y'all ever wondered how they do the sandwich commercials? So they have every piece of the sandwich on some string, and they'll wait for it. Boom! Sandwich made. It's so much effort for like a 1 second shot, but it's like the finished product is gonna look so dope. Another